Hi, sixth graders. So your platform is going to look a little different than the one I had showed previously. So this is Xadrian. So thank you, Xadrian. We do have permission to share her content. She hasn't done any lessons in here, so we're not sharing any private information. I just wanted to show you guys how to access your lessons. So I need to input the calendar. Once I input the calendar, then over here at my schedule, you will have a daily schedule. But that's not going to be there until I have time to put that calendar in. In the meantime, you're going to come over to classes. Once you do your classes, your course cards are going to show up here. Okay, this is your language arts. So this is your reading, your writing, your vocabulary, all that fun stuff is over here. This is your American history. So this is your social studies course that you have, your math course. And then this is like a quick little tutorial online learning course. So you can go ahead and do this one first. Okay. So once we do this one, we're going to come over and it's going to look like you don't have anything, but you're going to have to go up to content. Once you go into content, that's where you're going to find your lesson outline. So now that you have your lesson outline, this is going to be where all of your lessons are going to be. So over here in this course, it's a very short course. This is just an introduction to online learning. There are 0 out of 19 required topics to complete. So you're going to go ahead and just start. This is lesson 1 in your introduction. So you're going to go ahead and just click that and go ahead and do the lesson. I don't want to click too much because it's her account here. I don't want to make sure that she gets access to be able to do this. So you're going to go ahead and read through this. And this is going to give you an introduction of how to do the courses. If you want it to read it to you, you can come over here and toggle that on and it will read it to you.
Learning the latest viral dance isn't just...
Okay. Or you can just read it yourself and scroll to the next page when you're ready. Okay. Again, I don't want to do too much in terms of this because I don't want to mess up her progress. But let's say you come across a word and you don't know what it means either. You can use some of these tools. So you can highlight the word and define it, and then it will come up. So you've got a built-in dictionary. You've got a focus tool. So this is kind of like your line guide tool when you take the M-STEP test. So very similar there. You just kind of click that again to get that off. There is translate. So if you speak another language as your main form of communication, you can do that. And here's where you can change the voice speed. So if it's going too fast, you can slow it down. If it's going too slow, you can speed it up a little bit. You can play with these settings, and then this is where you would set the language if you needed it translate. Please don't mess with it if you do not need that translated. Thank you. Okay. You can also print it as well. You don't have to, though. Everything is going to be online. So once you're completed with this lesson, you're going to we're going to go back to our content. And, okay, so this is your home button. So this takes you to the course homepage over here, class home. This is your course homepage. So this is your main page of this little house in the corner, okay? So if you finish that one, we're going to start a new class. We're going to come over to classes. You're going to then maybe start, you feel like doing some math. Doesn't matter the order. You can do it in whatever order you like. So again, the same setup here. We have our course name. We've got a lot of information here. If there's any discussions, they'll be up here. You will be having some due dates and whatnot, but I have to put the calendar in again. So it's going to look like nothing's due. But if you keep scrolling down, then we have to go to content and then scroll down. You'll at least be able to access your courses until I can get that calendar set up. Okay. So again, going over to content. So once you go to content, you should be able to scroll down and see the lesson outline and see where you're at with everything. So again, we've got a course introduction, readiness, and checkpoints. So we're going to go ahead, and this is the first thing that shows up over here. And then we've got all of the next one, which is number properties. So that's your first unit. So there's 75 pieces to this, okay? You're going to go ahead and start here, and once you're going to start your introduction, and then you can start your lessons. So I just wanted to show you what the lessons look like. So again, it's very similar to what I just showed you, only this one's math. So again, if you need it read to you, you can click the reading button and it will read it to you. It gives you your lesson goals very clearly right here. So what are we working on? We're working on classifying whole numbers from 1 to 100 as prime or composite. Again, if you forgot what a prime or composite number is, we can come up here, we can use the tools and go to define. Here we go, define, pull up your toolbar, define, and it'll show you what a prime number is. You forgot what a composite number is. Come over here, define. This way you're not having to go back and forth and Google things and remember. Okay, so that's a very helpful tool. Here are your standards. All of our math is Common Core State Standard aligned. So here are the standards you're working on in this lesson. Up here is where you're going to toggle to the next page. There may be things that you need to print out. This is where a notebook might come in handy. So sixth graders especially, you guys are going to need to be taking notes and making sure that you are going to have a space to write your math work on. So make sure you have a notebook. If it's a 5-subject notebook, make sure you have one tab dedicated to math. If you do not have a separate or a 5-subject notebook, make sure you at least have some sort of notebook where you can dedicate for math, okay? So now we've got this in here. So we're going to go ahead. Here are your digital materials. So this may be like, it looks like a rubric that you're going to be graded on. So this is going to be what your assignment is expected to be. Okay. And how do we know that we're going to get our points? Well, this is the things that we need to be doing. Okay. I understand we don't have due dates in there yet. So just do the best you can. Just start. That's the biggest thing right now. I'm still working on getting kids logins and making sure that they can start. But I thought this video might help a little bit. I know everybody's been struggling trying to find their actual content. So you do the math lesson, and then you can actually go back over to your home page and then switch your subject to another one after you've done it. Obviously, the math test or the math lesson is going to take you a lot longer to go through the whole thing. So your progress will be saved. So as much as you do, your progress will be saved. And we'll talk more about how to track the progress later. But right now, we just want to get everybody started. So your progress is going to be changing as you do lessons. I am listed as your teacher, your main teacher, but there are co-teachers as well. So you should have either Miss Cole or Mr. Drew as your co-teachers for your subjects as well. So you can feel free to contact them as well. So again, going to the content, and then over here, this is our American history class. You are going to go to content, and then again, all of your lesson outline is down here. So you can start. This is just kind of giving you, this is what you're going to be looking at through the whole course, and this is where we're starting. So just hopefully that helps you get at least started a little bit with being able to do this. There will be a plan once we get the dates entered, but I still have to do that. So again, I hope this helped a little bit, at least getting us started. I know there's going to be some hiccups along the way. We're working on them. We're helping, try to make this as best we can. But I know some people were worried about not having content. You have the content. It looks different right now than it should. So we're working on getting that fixed. And thank you for your patience and have fun learning.